Welcome, YouTube family, to Friday Night in the Office. I am about to show you right now. This is possibly the best bike I never knew that I could have had. A frame is not aluminum; it is steel, but it is the Dutch style. Has the basket and it has the thing in the back. I could throw a milk carton. I was throwing a pillow and allowing the princess to sit on it on the way home from school, which is why I need a new tire and could use help. Thank you. Good evening, YouTube family. So, heaven willing, this will have happened. I will have finally received, which is not even really much that I'm receiving, like a favor or a handout or anything of that to that effect, but rather just you pay for services and then you are, you know, you're compensated for what you pay for. That's it. Nothing else. No big thing. No big deal. The only thing that I will say that there was help from the U.S. of A government, and this was a law enacted when there was a president named Barack Hussein Obama. He signed, his legacy was a bill called the Affordable Health Care Act, and it's because all states they're taking funds away from Medicaid, and I think the reason was because Medicaid, from my experience working with in a in the medical establishment, Medicaid. Let me make sure what zoom is on 0.5. That's fine. Was a very well established how you call it, I forgot the book. Medicaid was a very well established, very well funded. So like when a healthcare provider bills like the state's version of Medicare, or at least here in the great state of Florida, you almost get compensated nearly as much as if you were billing the federal insurance for people who are retired or disabled, which is Medicare. There's different parts. I think Part A is for hospital visits. Part B is for doctor visits. Part C, I forget. D is for like prescriptions, and it goes like that. It's something to that effect. Again, it's been almost like 10 years, or about 10 years since I last consulted at the OD's office. But this doctor right here, he doesn't even put his credential on he wrote a book. He's a osteopathic doctor, which is just like an MD, Robert Mitchell. He's the one that started me on the MAP program. So I want to read some excerpts from this, or just like maybe the first chapter from this book, because and I will put a link. So if you care to purchase it on Amazon, that little book bag is really nice. I forget where I get it, but it's pink. I like pink, and it's light. So it's like a day pack. It's only got two things. Boom, boom. Okay. Now, So we'll put this to the side. It's called Bursting the Atmosphere. What happens when rain falls up? The book by Robert Ben Mitchell. You will never look at the sky the same way again. And I tell you, it's a doozy, because when you read it, if it's a work of fiction, it is told like fact, especially because we're emitting greenhouse gases at a rate which was never seen in history before. Greenhouse gases has always been emitted, they're emitted by animals and this and that. But right now, because of after the Industrial Revolution and when we started to extract oil, and we found out how to mix oil with how you call it, how to refine it into gasoline and this and that. Obviously, I'm not going to find the same article. This one just mentions how the medicine I take is used for OUD. That's what the 30 letters I was looking for the other day stands for opioid use disorder. Now, if you don't know what an opioid is, pretty simple. There are these plants. There's a group of plants called poppy plants. I forget what plants are specified. There's like different botanists and different periods of times that classified things in like the animal kingdom, in the plant kingdom. So you have like different names based on who it was for the plant. Oh, there's a singer named Poppy too. Let's see if there's like a factual thing. Oh no, there isn't. But poppies belong to the subfamily Papaveroideae of the family Papaveraceae, which includes the following genera: Papaver, Papaver Papaver somniferum, Papaver orientale, Papaver nuricaul, Papaver cambricum, Excelsia californica, Meconopsis napaulensis, Glaucium is probably the one that's used for, I don't know, that's marijuana is used for glaucoma. Pressure, the blood pressure in the eyes. That's how an eye doctor can tell if you have high blood pressure. The horn poppies include Glaucium flavum and Glaucium corniculatum. Oh, there's a whole bunch more. I'm not gonna read them through them all. It's because it's gonna use in cultivation. Oh, look, seeds are rich in oil, carbohydrates, calcium, and protein. The oil is often used as cooking oil, salad dressing oil, or in products such as margarine. Now, interesting tidbit: I did not know that Henry Ford was looking for, already in his time, he was already a pioneer of his age. He was already one of the greatest. Like he was like the equivalent of Tesla. Which, by the way, another interesting tidbit: Tesla's in his last days, he stayed in a hotel in New York, and the name of the hotel is called the New Yorker. And when he passed away, the FBI, they raided and they took away all of his papers, which included, shite that he might have tried to get patent maybe, or that he hid because he knew that if he tried to patent it, it would mean trouble. And if you don't know what that means, I'm gonna try to, if I remember, put a link to either in the description or up here about a video from the channel The Y Files. The gentleman, I think he was he's an actor, and he did like minor roles, I think, in like X Files and other shows, I believe. But yeah, his show's pretty neat. He has a sidekick, which is a talking goldfish, and the talking goldfish is like a comedic sidekick, and he always has a script, and he talks about things like um, uh, what are they called, like UFOs, um, things that people that aren't educated believe in, like flat Earth, or the south entrances in the South Pole to go into the middle of the Earth, or aliens, at the edge of the solar system, and they recruit people so they abduct people, they recruit them for like 20 years, then they do some type of medical procedure to them so that they lose all those 20 years of aging, and then they go back to bed to where they were. A whole bunch of shit. I don't know. Like, he tries to, like, um, tell the story about everything with all the facts, and then he debunks it and says whether it's true or not. And some of the things he'll admit that he doesn't know. He doesn't know if it's true or not. So I dropped the vid. I don't know if description corner either or on second channel number 6, which I should go to maps and then take a screenshot of the image, because with a Chromebook, the OS on a Chromebook is kind of like the OS on a phone. Take a screenshot and then just highlight the route that I took for the walk. Now, in some of those walks, you will notice that when I get to like Village Square Plaza, when I got to on 6, when I got to Walgreens, when you finish from the sidewalk, oh no, Walgreens, there was the sidewalk that went into the store. I just did not know. I had to cross the little entrance, the car entrance, walk a little further, about like maybe like 4 or 5 meters, and then make a left, and then there would have been the entrance that would have led right to the front door. So there was a sidewalk that went straight to the front door, which is, when you think of it, for people who are, let's say you have a child that was born with cerebral palsy, they have to use a wheelchair, which I know in this, where I live, there are children like that. That's why the codes and buildings and all that, everything has to be, but that's, most people expect them to be driven around in vans, which is possibly the logic behind not putting, not always putting sidewalks going into plazas, because they don't expect many people to walk up to a plaza, but this, everything is so car centric. And then I tried to look for the video which mentions about how not having a car uh, can lead to increased chances of being in poverty. But in, at least in this website that I'm posting this video on, all the videos were saying the opposite, about how owning a car ends up costing you, which we knew that already. It's a depreciating asset. It's not gonna, unless it's a supercar, and if it's a supercar, it's very expensive to maintain. You got to keep it low mileage. You got to take it to the dealer. You got to keep records. It's synthetic oil, a lot of other things. Okay, now let me look up. What are they gonna look up? How not owning a car. I'm gonna put may. Let's see, cause problems. Well, Google already has. some questions. What are the cons of not having a car? Can not having a car cause problems? Also, if you let a car sit for too long, it says right here, letting a car sit for too long can cause maintenance issues. Mamá, tu carro, bueno, tú lo prendes por lo menos 2 veces al mes, creo. See, me, I like old school American cars. I like cars made in America. I mean, I like foreign cars. I just like cars from like the 80s and back that as long as it looks like I like its style and it was kept up, like damn, like when you see like that car look like there's new 1980 something Honda Civics that you can find. Um, See, there's only 3 areas that have robust with major metros with robust legacy transit systems. These are the cities that were built before Henry Ford started the production line or the factory line for the Model T. His the motivation that he had when he started the production line was that he wanted all of the employees that worked for him to be able to afford a car, and because a car at that time was a luxury, and there was no such things really as car manufacturers yet. Everybody, people could make their own contraptions. The very first moving vehicle was made, I think, by Daimler Benz or something like that. I forget, or Carl Benz. I forget the names. Um, and I think only had like 3 wheels. It was almost like a little carriage with like I don't remember, but the 3 cities are New York. New York has a decent like there's a lot of people, New Yorkers, never got their driver license, and over there it's like in Colombia you focus like on fashion, on how you look. That's why someone cara sucia, like what they call it cara sucia, where I'm from, which means like 'cause I don't shave, I haven't got a haircut, I'm not keeping up, my appearance. But I haven't been. Maybe if I kept my appearance a little bit better, but that ain't it. It's education. Boston, Boston is like the capital of New England, you could kind of say, and Washington D.C. Washington D.C. does have a metro. I know because they had an accident. I think about like 15 years ago now. I believe it was. See if I remember. I'll put a link. It was from Major Difficult, the YouTube channel. It says here, yet there is a small but mighty group of people who live in low density areas and choose to be car free. But okay, here's an article that I think may support the theory that I had heard about prior. And now this is not going to apply to people like in Europe, those cities over there. And the fact that here in the States we say, oh, we already have the infrastructure for cars, we can't go back. That's a lie. They made a city in the Netherlands where they wanted to make it car centric, and they built it, they finished it, but then they seen how many people were dying from car accidents, the noise, and just the overall stress of car ownership. They were like, no, we're good. They changed everything back to how it is. I'm going to put a link to Not Just Bikes. This gentleman has a YouTube channel, lives in the Netherlands, and that's why I like the bicycle that I'm trying to fix. I'll show you at the end the back tire of it. It's essentially a beach cruiser, but it's like a Dutch style beach cruiser because the bar in the middle is low, which makes it easier to get in and out of. Because you could wear different types of clothing, whatever, and makes it easy. Um, oh wait, no, let's see. No, I went to Tesla. Tesla, forget Teslas, man. Them things are like a computer. I would like to buy that roadster. What determines a person's social status? Social status is determined by power, and power is money. Power to influence, like a charismatic socialite or leader. So essentially, if you're spiritually rich, which that's what I try to focus on because obviously I'm not getting anywhere in with finances, which is really a bummer. That's why I actually brought out this little. I like it. I like it. It's a little keychain. Oops. Second time I drop it phone today. Beast Boy, where is it at? I don't know, David. This little keychain I brought out. I swore that had a proverb or I think it was either a proverb or some on it. Oh, all right. When I find it, I'll take a picture. Anyways, I'm not gonna worry about power because power is it could be like people who have like myself allegedly the prefrontal cortex develops differently, and that's why um, I suffer from like OUD or just addiction in general. But there were precursors to that before I even abused or even used any of them substances. There was I was diagnosed by an MD with it's funny because the terminology in psychology, allegedly, some of the terms can change like every 5, 10 years. When I was diagnosed, it was only called manic depression. Now it's called bipolar manic depression. And I didn't take it too serious. And now I'm starting to realize that. And then one time I did take it serious, but um, I was I was just taking one medication, and it was this clinic, which is like a clinic for people that don't have health insurance here in Broward County. It's called Henderson Clinic. I think starts with an HenderSon perhaps. Um, and the problem with that is that they only prescribe like the SSRI, selective uh, serotonin reuptake inhibitors, or maybe SNRIs, which is somewhere neuro something. I forget what it is. Look, it says here cars are a danger. Disadvantage of not having a car. harder to hold things. It's slow. It takes longer to get anywhere on foot than it does on wheels. It's tiring. Walking is less strenuous than many other forms of exercise. You're exposed to the weather. And now being homeless, that's one of the hardest factors, is being exposed to the weather. Because the number one thing is that big pile of plasma in which you can fit like a million some Earths in. It makes up for like 99.9% of all the mass in our solar system. Um, that that shite, the radiation from our star ain't no joke. I seen it like with my own two eyes, because light doesn't travel like how you think. The light that we see, any source of light, it travels in a wave. So if we were to slow it down, like like right now, I'm shooting this video a certain amount of frames per second. I'll put a link to slow mo, guys, if I remember. When you slow it down slow enough, and you have like a laser, which is a laser is just a very focused beam of photons. Photons are what produce light. They're the it's a particle that is massless but yet has mass, and it can travel into up to at the speed of light, which anything that has mass cannot travel to at the speed of light, because you would need infinite energy, and you would just not I have no according to the years. For most of the time, I've lived in a deeply urban part of the city that rates 98% for walking and similar number per channel. Alright, so I'm gonna put. I remember to put two channels on the bottom of this thing. One's gonna be how you call it? Not just bikes, and the other one's gonna be city nerds, uh, which are channels that I am subscribed to, and now let's see if I can find the. No. It does in the website for Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. It does make an emphasis that the medication I take is it says it's the first medication to treat OUD that can be prescribed or dispensed by physicians' offices. Significantly reduces access to treatment. As well, medication used in treatment it should be prescribed as part of a comprehensive treatment plan that includes counseling and other services to provide patients with a whole person approach. It offers several benefits with those with OUD and to others for whom treatment in an opioid treatment clinic is not appropriate or is less convenient. Now, an opioid treatment clinic is like a clinic you may go to daily or you may go to monthly. They give you methadone. If you go to daily, you gotta take it there daily. It's usually in a liquid, I think, or and then once you build up a certain level, like like every you pass your drug test, like 6 months or something to say. I don't know. I'm just making it up, and you showed up every day. Then you get to get take homes. They start you off with like a week. Then if you do good with that, you bring up you come back on your appointment and everything good. They move it up and up. So anyways, the main ingredient in the medication that I take, which the form that I take, it just has the one ingredient, which is important because uh, after I started taking it for OUD, that's when I also realized I'm like, this is still an analgesic, and it works way better in my, or at least the pros outweigh the cons. So as opposed to acetaminophen, if you take enough of those suckers, you die. Okay, no, people don't know that. That's Tylenol. You could buy that over the counter. It's still, for with prolonged use of time, if you don't live a healthy lifestyle or your genetics, it can cause damage to your liver. Now, your liver is very important because so is your kidneys. I forget. I'm not gonna go into physiology and what is it? I forget. See, this is why this medication to me is the best. Like, it is the only narcotic that I would even think about taking and being serious. Like, okay, I'm gonna take this for pain. There is a ceiling effect in which further increases above 24 milligrams in dosage does not increase the effects on respiratory or cardiovascular function, and it also really doesn't like if you take 24 milligrams a day. Obviously, you don't take all at once. You take it, split. I usually split it up, and to make it easier, I may even split one tablet into 4 pieces. Just take, pop it, and then a couple hours pop it, a couple hours pop it, or however I feel. But one of the things that, not just that, but I have to take medications for other things as well, and being in treatment is one of the reasons why I'm able to do what I did today. I'm gonna link the video maybe either with a card. The cards are the things that pop in the corners, or at the end of the video, or in the description. Check the descriptions, please. I try to give thanks to creators that I made. Like, for instance, today, subscribe to I Am Mr. Beat. And let's turn this off and let's see. Alright, I'm gonna make this a 2-part because so it can be short, 2 short videos. Next video, introduction to that book, which I'm gonna mention in a second. And like I'm gonna say right now in the narration, please remember, check out my well, I'm just gonna say this since I already said that in the narration, but please check out the other channel I have. I'm gonna put a link to the video that I made, the last video I made on it, because in the description I talk about a new health insurance from the Affordable Health Care Act, which is a government assisted insurance program where they provide based on your income, but part of the since part of me being able to be eligible for it is that I have to make $15,000 this year. I have an application open for the supermarket. There's a couple of them, McDonald's, and that's why I asked in the beginning of the video if anyone wants to donate to help me fix the tire. It would really help. Maybe I could try to start applying at other places like I was before, like Target and maybe in the mall. And or if not, if I can get the walking parlor, that little service-oriented idea that I had, if I could get that rolling and going into motion and it could pick up some steam, I really would like to make it something that I put it on papers, start a corporation, get proper permits from county, city, and make it legit. Contact companies that do billing, like credit card transactions, so I can start taking credit cards with the phone, and maybe eventually get a computer, not just for video edits, but then also so I can keep track of the income, and because when you essentially have your own business, it is wise to pay your taxes quarterly as opposed to just at the end of the year, because if you do it just at the end of the year, you get hit pretty hard. All right, well, let me get started on part 2 of this and get ready to call it a night because tomorrow's school. Thank you. Thanks so much for watching up to now. Please remember to hit the like, leave a comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out. Next video will be the beginning of this book. Thanks. AdSense took the U out of YouTube. AdSense took the U out of YouTube.